Are we in? And we're live.
And we're live once again with the Lonely Marks. We hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. If you were watching in the United States, around the world, we hope you're just having a good Friday, a good end of your week.
I mean, you can eat turkey too. We don't judge.
You can, but they're not thankful for it like we are apparently. They don't take it for granted. We're like turkey only on Thursday, the last Thursday in November. Yeah, we are here once again, Lonely Marks, here to talk some wrestling. I am joined. We're all here. The gang's all here. JPO, how's it going?
I'm doing great. I'm rocking my Mance Warner hat with my Danhausen pillow. Come on, I'm an indie Mark. What can I say? And I'm watching the TNA pay-per-view in the background too, so I'll keep you guys updated. So what happens in TNA tonight?
Okay.
Nice. Also, Pez is here. Pez, how's it going?
Hey, no, how's it going? Yeah, no, it was a good Thanksgiving and getting back to some wrestling business. Yeah, we got got a big show coming up this weekend, and we got one we watched last week, so a lot to talk about, man. But yeah, it feels weird. What time is it? It's 7:05 Eastern.
On a Friday.
On a Friday. This.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah,
yeah. I was
obviously,
like, what are we doing?
Thanksgiving.
Yes, Richie doesn't care about that, right, Richie? You're off in some other country. You don't care about, know.
Richie's like Thanksgiving. We're We're in Australia. We're thankful all year round.
However, I did get chased by a fucking turkey yesterday. If you're watching this turkey, I'm coming for you, you wrinkly necked fuck.
I'm sure he's one of yours.
But I felt like I was in like the South Park video game from Nintendo 64. You know, when you have to kill all those turkeys. Yeah, that was my day.
But, deep cut reference, but I got you.
No, I understood. That was all that game was killing 1,000 turkeys, and it was very repetitive.
Yeah, and I actually knew I knew the code to get every character. That's the only way I had fun that game. Bobby Bird, there you go. Type that in if you're playing. I don't know. But yeah, I'm doing good. Still coming on my phone. Eventually, I will have internet access. It's just been a bit of a pain. So yeah, all good. But so excited to talk about some wrestling and and talk about Full Gear, which me and someone might have won prediction. Hey, here we go. What's up, Jacob?
Sometimes when you go with your heart, it doesn't.
You could have tied us. That's all we're saying. You could have tied us.
If I just went with my head instead of my heart.
And I thought
on two of them.
Well, to be fair, Jacob. I went with my heart instead of one. I could have outright won. I was the one who took Swerve instead of Lashley. The smart money was on Lashley, and had I done that, I would have just flat out won, and nobody else.
Yeah. I did it twice. But I think we're getting ahead of ourselves because we want to get our predictions out of the way. We're just gonna jump right into it.
We're going to jump into it because 3 of us on this panel have a Happy Madison tournament fight to get to at 9 p.m. Eastern. So, just in case, we want to make sure we prioritize the predictions, make sure we get those all locked in and we get those discussions and we can breeze through, Full Gear. And then at the end, if we got a little time, we'll hit a few other, news notes and whatnot to fill out the show.
Yeah. So, Survivor Series.
Of whatnot, TNA had an auction earlier today. I didn't buy anything. I was good.
Were you?
I got outbid.
Oh. So it's not that you didn't want to buy something.
Yeah. Now they went for too much. It's one of those whatnots. Speaking of TNA, Mike Santana and Frank Kazarian about to lock up. But we're not talking about TNA right now. We're talking about good old Survivor Series. It's War Games once again after the Survivor Series. Coming to us from Vancouver. So it is a little earlier, too, by the way. I believe at 6 o'clock Eastern show. So don't forget, don't be tuning in at 8 because the show will be more than halfway done by then. So 6 o'clock for the Easterners out there, EST time frame. 5 matches to talk about 5 matches, which for once I don't mind because at least the 2 War Games will be pretty lengthy. Yes. So that I get. Times of Rumbles and War Games, I can understand that. We got the IC title, though, is on the line, which I'm glad to see. I'm also glad to see Ludwig Kaiser getting a nice pay-per-view opportunity here for his first major solo effort. In a way, solo because it is a triple threat with Sheamus as well and Braun Breaker, your defending champion. Richie, who you got in this 3-way for the IC championship?
Yeah, I have a feeling that this match was supposed to happen maybe a couple months ago, but Ludwig got hurt. But yeah, you know what? It might be. I don't know if I'm in the minority here. I think Ludwig takes it. I think I could see a scenario where both members of Imperium, or if they're still going by Imperium, hold the belts. So that, there's a spoiler for that might pick later on, but So and then maybe Ludwig and Sheamus just have a singles feud, and then Braun goes to bigger things. So I'm going Ludwig here.
All right, we got Ludwig count here, new champion according to Richie. But Pez, what you think?
Yeah, it's interesting. You could see Sheamus maybe getting the surprise win. Isn't it been a big thing that he's never won the IC title? He's won,
this is like his kind of goal right now.
Yeah. I could see him getting it, but maybe more in like a one-on-one scenario, making it like a big moment, not just like kind of stealing a win here. I do think Ludwig could be in the contention, but I'll go with the safe bet here. I'll say Braun just won it back not long ago, and he'll learn from his mistakes of the last couple of times. He's made some mistakes here and there, and I'll say he sticks it out in this one.
I'm gonna have to go with Pez here. Personally, here I'm not against any outcome to a degree. If Sheamus kind of gets that final last, nod in his belt, pretty cool for him. I'm happy that Ludwig has this big opportunity here. There's a one point where he very much felt like just the jobber friend of Gunther. So I'm glad that like these last few months have actually built him up to be a very capable guy in his own right. But Braun he already got derailed once by Uso, which I let that go because I was like, all right, Uso's super over. We want to establish him a little bit more as a solo main event guy. Do we derail him again already? Like, I know Richie said bigger, better things, but I don't think he's going to fight Gunther anytime soon. So I don't know. I feel like why derail him twice? Like, let him now start this, doesn't have to be a super long reign, but it's got to be a little longer than what it is. Jacob?
Yeah, like you, JPO, I'm fine if any of these three guys win. It'd be cool to see Sheamus finally win the IC title. I think that happens sooner rather than later. I don't think it happens tomorrow. I'm going to go with Braun to retain, like you said. The reign hasn't been too long, and his first reign wasn't long either. Give him a lengthy reign, give him some good defenses, and maybe he drops it. In a few months, maybe to Sheamus. Maybe I wouldn't mind seeing Sheamus win at WrestleMania. Give him a big Mania moment. It's been a while since he's had one of those. But yeah, let Braun hold it a little bit longer.
Yeah, just double checking on Ludwig here. Yeah, outside of the Extreme Rules 2022 old fashioned Donnybrook match against Sheamus, Ridge, and Butch. This is Ludwig's first big pay-per-view match outside of like a Rumble or something. So a little bit scattered here, which is kind of cool here. Richie's got some hope for Ludwig. There's some little small hope for Sheamus, but I think most of us agree that Braun might just retain it a little bit longer. Mm-hmm. Going into the second match of the night. Hey, both mid-card titles on the line, which is cool. Their titles ignored again. Shinsuke Nakamura has returned, and he is challenging, LA Knight. Paz.
This is yet another time where they're using Nakamura to just have somebody for the champion to challenge randomly. Nakamura shows back up, beats somebody up. They set him up for a match, and then he loses because LA Knight will retain the title here. And not Nakamura, I could almost say doesn't have a chance at all. We hardly ever see him, and they only ever prop him up. We've seen this in world title matches too. They prop him up, for a couple weeks. He goes in, gives a good match, but then is unsuccessful. So I'll take LA Knight.
I'm very Natalie Imbruglia here. By that I mean I'm torn. Because I would love to see Shinsuke get it. I really wanted him to win the title off Rollins back in the day. I felt like that was the title to finally give Shinsuke a world title run. It didn't have to be long, but we didn't get it at all. And I want to pick him again, but damn, Pez, I feel like if I picked him and I was wrong, I'd just be like, how many times am I going to fool me once, fool me twice, fool me three times? Like, how many times am I going to keep voting for Nakamura and he's not going to get it? So, and I also feel like it's kind of quick. Like, I was surprised when they announced this. I was like, oh, okay, we're there already. I'll say LA Knight retains it, but I'm kind of hoping they continue it, and maybe Nakamura gets it later. But again, maybe I'm just hoping for the hopeless. I don't know. We'll see. I would really like to see it, but I'll go LA Knight as far as my official pick. Barber?
Yeah, I would also love to see Nakamura win it, but I think LA Knight is going to retain. I'm the same way. I picked Shinsuke during that Rollins feud. I thought that was a time to jump on it, and they didn't. So I'm going to go LA Knight. I also have an interesting fact for you guys. Can you guys tell me the last time both the IC and US title were defended on the same night?
Okay, so not Mania, so I don't know.
Yeah, because those were different nights. You have to go all the way back to WrestleMania 37 Night 2, the last time that these two belts were defended on the same night. I thought that was a little crazy.
I believe it. That's one of, like, again, not to beat a dead horse, but one of the reasons I'm against 5 matches is because you always have to kind of exclude one of these titles. You know what I mean? So Richie, what do you got?
I guess technically you would probably see a US and Intercontinental title match going forward if you count the women's one. Yeah.
No, that's a different title. No,
I know, but I know, but
I also think it'll be, and that's my only. And again, we'll get to that when we talk about news. But like my own interpretation of those titles is, again, I'm gonna feel like they're gonna get ignored on pay-per-views 9 times out of 10. So
yeah, going to this, I'm not convinced that they're gonna have a sustained push for Nakamura, especially at this point in his career. Like lest we forget that, like, before this, he was off TV because they had nothing for him. Like, he wasn't injured. He's just, he even showed up at a UFC show like maybe a couple months ago, cornering somebody and just chilling because he was just chilling. Didn't have anything for him. He shows back up, just having a random feud LA Knight. I think he's like Piers said. I think he's just a body. It's unfortunate. I would like to see him sustain push with Nakamura. Don't know what's going to happen. I thought maybe maybe LA Knight would have a one-on-one match with Carmelo Hayes, and Carmelo Hayes might finally get the United States title. No, I don't know. So yeah, I'm with the consensus here and say LA Knight.
All right. Well, despite some, love for Nakamura, none of us have faith he walks out champion, and that's just a fact of life. All right, guys. The major Gunther's World Heavyweight Championship against Damian Priest, bit of a rematch here. Miski. I feel like this is just to get to the next thing, so I'm gonna say Gunther retains. I don't really have much more to say than that. I like the promos, but again, feels like a retread. Barber?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a great match. It feels like this is just a filler until we get to Gunther's next big feud. I love the promos between them have been great, and I love that Damian's kind of getting one up on Gunther for the most part here, which makes me think like, yeah, Gunther's going to ramp it up tomorrow night and just kind of take it to him, and yeah, it's going to be a hard fought match. How many times is he going to chop Priest in the chest? That's
well, we don't know. Damian's the one who made him bleed in their SummerSlam match, if you remember. So Gunther got the worst of it on that one.
Yeah, I think I'm looking forward to the rematch, but yeah, I think Gunther holds the title till at least Mania, before I even think about him dropping it. So, yeah, cool. He's walking away with it.
Alrighty, so Richie again, what you thinking?
Yeah, I like I said, I like the build up to this. Like, where Gunther sort of lost for words. He's a bit trepidatious. Damian Priest has been getting the better of him. I think the razor's edge to the table on Raw is pretty cool. But yeah, I think it's all. Yeah, this is all going to go away during the match where Gunther's going to retain and move on to his next feud, which it wouldn't surprise me if it's CM Punk, but it could be someone else. So I'm going to go Gunther.
All right, Pez, do we clean sweep it? Do you think Priest has a shot?
No, I'm going to clean sweep it. I am looking forward to the match, though, too, because I love that SummerSlam match. I had a lot of fun with that one. But yeah, I think Gunther's going to hang on to it for just a little bit longer.
Yeah, sorry, the Priest. Good luck in your future matches, but Gunther is the overall favorite here. We are now into War Games territory. One for the females, one for the males. The females match will see Liv Morgan, Nia Jax, Tiffany Stratton, Raquel. Is it Gonzalez or Rodriguez? I always forget. Gonzalez now?
Rodriguez.
It's Rodriguez, yeah.
You made me question. Wait.
And Candice LeRae against Bianca Belair. Rhea Ripley rocking the mask now. Bayley, Io Sky, and Naomi. This should be a fun one here. What you thinking, Barberino?
Oh, I'm not sure on either of the War Games matches, which makes me glad I'm going last on the next one because that's the one I'm even more unsure of. I could see it going either way. I'm gonna go with Team Bianca. I think Rhea gets the pin over Liv, and that kind of keeps that going. We see, to get to one final match between them for the championship. Maybe we see a cash-in tease. I don't know. Which would, which would be interesting since they're on the same team. And then maybe a little dissension there, and that gives the faces an advantage, and they kind of take advantage of that. So yeah, I'll go with the faces here, Team Bianca.
All right, real quick, you don't have to get into it. Barber, who won, Santana or Kazarian?
Kazarian.
Richie.
Santana.
Bez.
I'm Santana. I don't know.
Poets the peasant, Richie. Santana with the victory over Kazarian in 12 minutes even. Anyway, Richie, what you got on this?
Yeah, I think the biggest sort of question here, the biggest is the status of Jade Cargill, because I've heard mixed reports whether she's actually legit injured or that's a storyline. Storyline, see her potentially maybe turning heel or something going on. Regardless, this might be good, and this might show my cards for the main event here, but I think I think the heels go over. Because just booking wise, I think the heels go over here by some shenanigans. But yeah, doesn't mean that we still wouldn't get a tease of a cash in here and there. Because why not? I'll go team. Who's the captain? Team Liv.
Team Liv. Yeah.
Nah, just go by who's got the biggest faces on the poster. Liv and Bianca. Pez?
No, this is tricky. Because I could see either team going, but with Cargill out, I don't trust that Bianca Belair. They've been really teasing a heel turn here, and she could be a turncoat on her own team and maybe flip alliances, and I think that could lead to a Team Liv win here. And also, don't forget about Dominic. I don't trust that Dominic either. Could be sliding weapons in, could be trying to interfere, cause distractions.
Dirty one.
Always on that outside, that dirty Dom. So I'll go with Team Liv because you can stretch this out just a little longer.
This is a hard one here, because it's not really the men's match is a straight up long storyline with a couple set groups with a couple add-ons, obviously, but mostly it's a group and group with a couple add-ons. This one is very much an amalgamation of storylines and brands and everything, even so could really go either way, just depending on kind of who they want to maybe put over before the next chapter in their feud. I'm gonna go with just predicting the other results. I'm gonna go with the face team. I'm gonna go Bianca, Rhea, etc. getting the win here. That sets up that one here.
We're split even. Our first
right?
even split. Yeah, Jacob and the two J's, Jacob and Jordan going team Bianca Rhea, and me and Richie going with Liv and company. So yeah, we'll see what happens.
Very nice.
We could be similar in this one, right, JP? This one, I don't know where this is going.
Certainly not least. Yeah, this again feels like we're not at the end of the chapter. I don't think here. Do you smell what I'm cooking? But you do have the OG bloodline: Roman Reigns, Jimmy J. Uso, Uzi, Sami Zayn, and CM Punk, indeed, being called over by Paul Heyman against the new bloodline, Bloodline 2.0, however you want to put it. Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu, Tama Tonga, Tangaloa, and Bronson Reed has been added to the mix here. Back down to Richie, I believe. Richie, OG 2.0.
This is one of those ones where I wish I wasn't first. I could see it either way. I'm gonna go. I will say OG Bloodline, but I think maybe at the end, sort of like Bad Blood. I think The Rock might make an appearance as well at some point. I think we see a Rock appearance, but I'm gonna go the OG bloodline to sort of have a sort of somewhat happy ending to the story, but also continuing with maybe the Rock. And I don't know what they're gonna, because I don't know if they're gonna build Rock and Roman or Rock and Cody for WrestleMania, but I think they'll put the gears in motion for something to do with the Rock in this match. So so I will go OG bloodline, but I'm not 100% confident.
All right, OG Pez.
Yeah, I'm not confident on this at all. This is literally like a 50-50 because you can see it either way. The new bloodline's kind of the more cohesive unit going into this one. You can see some dissension. Roman and CM Punk may not trust each other. Sami Zayn could not trust, different people on the teams. Jimmy Uso is always a factor. The Rock could be a factor. I don't know if Roman needs to eat another loss though, like especially on pay-per-view. Maybe I'll go with the OGs, but a potential Rock beatdown afterwards, something like that. So, or some kind of shenanigans after the fact. But I think they'll eke out the win. Also, I saw some statistic where like Sami Zayn's like undefeated in War Games or something, so that kind of factors into it. So I'll go with OGs.
I think the Sami Zayn thing would be more luck than anything. I don't really think they're worried about protecting that. At the end of the day. So
if it's a coincidence, a nice coincidence because he's like 4 for 4 or something like that.
Right? Yeah. Don't forget the Undertaker thing was a coincidence at first. I don't forgot what number he said, but it wasn't until like several in they were like, "Hey, you haven't lost yet," and then they made it a thing. You know what I mean? Like it was just by happenstance. Yeah. Oh yeah, I do always win at this fucking event. There's other weird ones too of like, not that this is a correct one, like Edge and Survivor Series. Like there's weird ones out there too. Anywho. This really, really could go either way here. I mean, they finally got a nice win, 2.0. Do we continue that momentum and try to have them overcome The Rock, or is it because they lose that The Rock finally comes back? I know I just kind of made it seem like I was going to go with 2.0, but now I'm leaning towards OG. You got Punk in there, Sammy's back. And I think to have The Rock come in, maybe that is the reason why The Rock comes back, is because Roman now is going to try to reestablish himself, and Rock's going to go, nah, me, bitch. I'm going to say OG as well. So I believe that's 3 for OG, but Barber, we're not sure. What do you think?
Yeah, the more I've been thinking about it, you guys all make great points. However, I'm gonna go with the new bloodline. I think they're the more cohesive unit. I think you could see some dissension in the OG bloodline with CM Punk. Reigns not trusting him. I saw a lot of people be like, "Oh, why was Paul Heyman dressed like Solo Sikoa?" I'm like, well, no, he was just wearing red and black because that's the colors of the OG bloodline. I think you're reading too much into that. I don't think there's a Paul Heyman turn. Although if there was, it wouldn't be the first time that he's turned on somebody.
It would just be also one of those odd things. It's like, oh, you're siding with the guys who like injured you and put you out for like 3 months. That's odd. That always bugs me when they do storylines like that.
Yeah,
and it's like, oh, I'll side with you now. Like, oh, okay.
I mean, if there's anybody that I don't trust in the new bloodline, it's Sami Zayn. I could see him potentially, turning for whatever reason. But yeah, just because of the cohesion in the new bloodline. I'm gonna go with them.
So we are technically a little split there, which I believe does make a split.
I will say overall. with that overall, none of us have the same 5 predictions.
Yeah,
not one of us have the same.
I was Barber simpatical to just now. Yeah,
until now, Richie's got Ludwig in the 3-way. I've got Liv with Richie. You guys have Bianca's team on the other one, so there's a little bit of difference here and there. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, overall,
should make for an interesting show. I don't mind those shows where there's a little unpredictability in some of the bigger matches.
No,
you don't know where it's going to
go. Those are sometimes the best. You know what I mean? Like even if like sometimes like the matches may be great, but it's like I know who's going to win all the matches. I love the fact that we're like not certain both War Games. I mean, pretty certain on the World Heavyweight. I would say.
having a cash in the middle of a War Games match could be fun and interesting if they actually pull through it on. Having her cash in right in the middle of those two rings could be interesting.
It is War Games. They put Nia through a table or something. Tiffany's like, shit. Yeah. Why not?
I had to do a mini match in between the match, and she just bails afterwards. Just get the hell out of there. You can see it happening, and that leads to somebody else winning. Because she bails on her team after she wins the title. You never know. Anything could happen. Yeah.
Well, and that is your Survivor Series.
All right, nice. All right, cool. Should be a good show. Yeah, 6 p.m. Eastern, so a little bit of an earlier start time there. I can actually watch it before my drinking game that night. That's pretty fun. Before I watch Eli Ross Thanksgiving, and drink along to that later in the night. All right.
Still count just said that.
That's right.
Have a shot every time that there's a tonal shift in that movie.
Oh yeah, no, maybe. I haven't hammered down the drinking game yet.
All right. Well, that's our show this weekend. But last weekend, AEW presented Full Gear. I don't remember from where, but
they were in Jersey. Somewhere in Jersey.
Newark, New Jersey, at the Prudential Center.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, I was not able to watch the show. I forgot that I had a comedy benefit that I was going to, which was at the same time as Full Gear. So you guys will talk about it, and I'll say, "Oh,
I forgot great. To." But next time, just ask me for my Triller login, and you can just watch the replay, Jacob.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Sounded like it was a decent show though.
It was a weird show. It was an interesting show. It was a weird show though. It was
like. I like how they're in Newark, New Jersey. Like, because if it was WWE back in the day, they'd be like, "We're in New York." It's like, no, you're not. Well, you sort of are.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we kicked off 0 hour. We had 3 matches. 0 hour first match, Anna Jay defeating Deonna Purrazzo. I'm pretty sure we all went with Purrazzo in the chat, so a little bit of a surprise.
I mean, they're just starting her and Taya as a team, and Anna just lost her matches for the title. So I was like, all right, let's build up Purrazzo, but I guess not.
I almost went with Anna Jay, and I was like, no, I'm going to get with the safe pick, and the safe pick obviously wasn't the safe pick. So
I feel like Anna Jay is one of those people they put in matches all the time that just is there to lose. So I wasn't expecting her to win, but whatever.
They just did her push technically, so I was like, they're not going to push her back to another title match. Like, she just lost 2 of them, so
yeah. So it's not a great way to use Deonna Purrazzo, who's one of the better women's wrestlers on your roster, but cool.
Currently on TNA, by the way, we have a 6-man turkey suit match, turkey bowl match. It's a little day late for this, but Joe Hendry, Eric Young, Hammerstone, Rhino, Brian Myers, and John Schuyler. The loser will have to wear a turkey suit.
It's a bit. That's a bit of a downfall. It's a bit of a downfall from challenging with the world title at Bound for Glory.
Now you're basically in a tuxedo match, a glorified tuxedo match.
Oh, that's a horrible camera shot. Myers and Rhino are fighting on the outside, and they clearly take a knee to just stare at the ring, and those camera lingers on them for way too long. It's one of those multi-man matches where they're just pausing on the outside while people fight in the middle.
Yeah, we gotta wait for our spot to jump back in. Yeah.
But for those of you that were able to watch the pre-show, how was Anna Jay and Purrazzo?
I only saw the main event of the pre-show. I was getting my ritualistic pizza, so I saw the last 30 seconds of the second to last pre-show match. The buddy.
I have paid attention to it. I was kind of backwards catching up watching this while I was watching the current stream.
I watched it. It's a bit,
fine from what I saw.
It was a bit clunky. I was but basically, I think Anna Jay kind of won up through slipping a banana peel distraction thing. It didn't make Deonna look good. It was a match, but yeah, the crowd weren't really into it. The crowd was still sort of filing in. To be fair,
still filing in. Yeah, I did look. This airs at they start an hour and a half, and this aired not too long after the hour. This is before the hour mark. So this is before 7 o'clock, I want to say. So yeah, the crowd's not really not even heavy at this point.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was like that at Wrestle Dream. They started Brian Cage and Atlantis Jr. and it was not even half.
Yeah, that was another 6:45 one. Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that.
All right. Up next, we had a four-way. Four pretty decent workers here. Buddy Matthews defeating Dante Martin, Commander, and the Beast Mortos. I believe we were split on that one. Two of us had Buddy, two of us had Mortos. So again, I kind of wanted to see this one. I like everyone involved in this. I think personally, I wouldn't have minded a one-on-one between Buddy and Beast. I think that could be a good match if they wanted to do that. But again, for those, so Richie, JPO, you were able to catch this one. How was this one?
Yeah, I didn't see this one. So take it away, Richard.
Okay. Yeah, this match was really good. This match was really good. Yeah, I think you and I had Buddy Matthews, and Buddy Matthews was really over. I thought Beast Mortos would be the most over guy in the match. He wasn't. It was Buddy Matthews. Yeah. No, it was really good. All four of those guys worked really well. Buddy Matthews using a lot of Tyler Black, Kenny Omega spots, but he does them well, so I don't mind. And yeah, he wins with the curb stomp on, I believe, Atlantis. I couldn't remember.
Commander.
Oh, Commander. Yeah, it was. Yeah, Commander, and gets a win. So yeah, it'd be cool if they used him more as a singles guy, but we'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw the move before the curb stomp and then the curb stomp. That's what I saw when I logged in. So yeah, that's all I saw was Buddy winning and going, "Oh damn, my prediction lost." That's all I saw. No Beast. I keep wanting Beast Mortos to get more of a push. He is in the Continental Classic tournament, I believe. So he's at least in it. But
that's the only reason I chose him. I'm like, he can at least get this random 4-way victory.
Yeah, can he get a 0 hour? Can he get a 0 hour victory?
Jesus.
Like at least one, something. Yeah. But and I don't predict him winning the Continental Classic either. Spoiler alert for our predictions for that. But yeah, I don't see him going.
I sadly, and prove me wrong, I sadly think he's gonna be one of those guys that loses more than wins for sure.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. I'm sure
he's gonna be a Jay Lethal of the tournament. And again, I love you, Jay. I actually consider you a friend, but you were not the primary focus of that tournament.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell have they done with Jay Lethal lately? Fucking nothing.
Nothing. I don't even Is he even under contract? Like, holy shit, I don't know. They teased him and Jared breaking up, and then just dropped that, and I have no idea.
Just around.
The final match of the pre-show saw Big Boom AJ defeating QT Marshall. I watched parts of this, and it wasn't a disaster, but also not something I'm gonna say, hey, you should go check out that Big Boom AJ match. I'm not the biggest fan of faces winning, because of outside interference. I'm also not a big fan of kids getting involved in matches when you know that nothing's going to happen to them. He shouldn't have sold that spear the way he did. Big Boom AJ, he didn't look terrible. I mean, I guess he was a wrestler before. I mean, so he looked okay. I guess he actually broke his foot. I think I read more that he broke his foot. So shout out to him for being able to finish the match.
But,
he broke it before the show or something, like the day before or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Through it, yeah. From what I heard.
So shout out to him. I mean, that respect there. Maybe that's why he didn't look as crisp or whatever. So yeah, shout out to Big Boom for that. The whole thing still I'm glad this was on the pre-show though, and not the main show. But yeah, it was okay. Pez, what did you think of the Big Boom?
I saw this whole thing. I still don't know even after the show who these guys are or why I should care. I don't know who the Rizzler is or why I should care. I guess they're a TikTok or YouTube thing. I don't know. Whatever. Yeah, I've never seen any of their videos. Nor, it'd be nice if they showed some of their footage, before the thing to make me care about who they are. Maybe dig up some old footage of Homeboy Wrestling, 20 years ago. Just show a few clips, something. Give me a little context. It's just like, let's just put them out there. But hey,
they did at some point show some stuff in his past. Not much though.
Yeah, but hey, the crowd was with him. He was over. The crowd was into the match. It was very, very old school. I mean, as we thought it would be, very old school heel versus babyface stuff. And yeah, I mean, the kids getting involved was, I'm with you. I'm like, why do we have like 12-year-olds spearing like grown men? You shouldn't be selling that at all. Like, if this is at all realistic, QT would have kneed that kid right in the face, and just made the crowd boo even more.
And look, I know you work with kids. I know you work with kids, Jacob, but that would have been funny. Come on,
that would have been hilarious. Come on.
Well, I would have laughed.
Yeah, you posted that picture in the thing of like them backstage with Jeff Jarrett, and I was like, yeah, just hit that kid with a guitar. Like, I'm fine with it. Like, it's no big deal. It's just a guitar. Like, it wouldn't be the first time. But no, I mean, give him credit. They got the match over. The crowd was with it. I could see him getting some attention off of this, and apparently, like, I guess they uploaded just this match specifically, even from the 0 hour, and it's had like 8 or 10 million hits or something like that. So, I mean, good on them. It got some social media attention. So, I'm sure that was their goal. So, I mean, I guess good on them. But yeah, I mean, it was on the pre-show, so no harm, no done. No foul.
Yeah. Richie?
Yeah, no, this pretty much met my expectations here.
Jordan. There you go, Jordan. You got Jordan. I talk a lot.
I don't know what I'm talking about. I was just filling the gaps.
No, you're good.
Yeah, okay.
I just thought it was an offense. I know people who are quite offensive about this, but that takes away from other people in the show. I'm like, but it's just a once-off thing. Oh, you mean Zach Shelton? Name names, Zach Shelton.
Oh, I will. Yeah, yeah, okay. So you did. I don't have to anymore. So yeah, that takes away from other people in the card. It's like. It doesn't, like, if they do it once in a while at school, I get it for like promotional point of view, and the crowd said it all. The crowd went nuts for when the Rizzler came out and did a spear, and clearly the announcers are kind of taking the piss out of it as well. So it's fun for what it is, and good on him for like gutsing it out with a broken foot. He looked gassed a lot of the time, but he pulled out a decent match, and I think QT doesn't get enough credit for. You're being a great worker and being he's the right guy to do these sort of matches as well. So it was fun, but yes, I feel like I can't say I wouldn't be. It would have been cool to see Jarrett hit him with a guitar, or Bradshaw saying on X that he wanted to give him a clothesline from hell. You know how funny that'd be. Oh my god, just, come on. Make that happen. But this is fine. This is fine. But yeah, it's not like he's in the main event.
This match was as good as the double chuck chocolate cookie from Costco, guys. I give it a boom. This match was fine. It met my expectations. Knowing that AJ was a wrestler, this was a passion of his. This is not a Kevin Federline match. It's on the pre-show, so I kind of feel like it's gonna get attraction. Whether you like it or not, it's going to get attraction in eyes that didn't necessarily get to go to see an AEW show, throw back up on the YouTube again, cut out specifically. So, yeah, it met my expectations. It was fine. Again, I'm still not sure. Is the Rizzler his kid? Is that someone else's kid? I don't know. Some people seem to care, though, so good for them. And again, it also seemed like on the post-match scrum, though, too, that Tony was absolutely all about it. And it was like, please come back, AJ. Please. So I don't think this is the last we've seen of Big Boom AJ. I do not feel this was a one-off. Also, between Joe Hendry, Eric Young, Hammerstone, Rhino, Brian Myers, and John Schuyler. Richie, who's wearing the turkey suit right now?
Is it Joe Hendry?
Pez?
Rhino. That'd be funny.
And Jacob.
Who was the other team? Not Joe Hendry's team?
There is no team. It's a six-way.
Oh,
Joe Hendry, Eric Young, Hammerstone, Rhino, Brian Myers, John Schuyler.
Oh, the way you said it sounded like a six-way.
Oh, my bad.
Three.
Not six-way.
Three. Eric Young.
Brian Myers. Kurt Hawkins is currently wearing a turkey suit. Hendry got the pinfall, so Hendry maybe gets a title shot or something. I don't know. I don't know if the winner got anything. I was confused by this. But yeah, it's a long-standing tradition, by the way. AJ Styles is wearing the turkey suit. Like, so, it's kind of a compliment in a weird way.
All right. Well, Pez, it sounds like this is where you started watching. So why don't you?
Well, no, I mean,
watch the show.
Sure. No, I mean, I did see the Big Boom match, but yeah, the official pay per view started. They did the thing they did on the previous one where they had the entrances for the tag team match on the pre show, and then started the pay per view, kind of with the match. So yeah, we had Private Party taking down the Outrunners, the Kings of Black, and the Acclaimed in a 4-way for the tag team titles. Private Party takes it, but it was a match that kind of didn't have a lot of heat, that I thought that everybody was hitting their marks, hitting their moves, kind of did their thing. It was an opener that was just fine when I thought it could have been pretty damn good. But JPO, any thoughts on this tag team 4-way?
Yeah, just a quick sidetrack that we were talking about our boy Jay Lethal earlier. Hasn't been seen since August. So it hasn't been seen since August. And funny enough, too, his last match was a tag team win. Imagera defeated, in fact, Private Party and another team on a rampage. Undisputed Kingdom. So Bennett and David. So
if I was Jay Lethal, come out on the show and go, "Hey, remember when we beat you guys? We should be in this 4-way."
Maybe Jay Lethal should work out a deal with GCW and then kind of complain about his
and then get taken off like Ricky Starks.
That's not going to happen anymore.
So yeah, we might talk about that a little bit more later if we have time. But I mean, this was fine. Again, this match to me met my expectations. It's a 4-way. You're not going to be able to really much like juicy storytelling. You're just going to have 4 teams kind of hit their shit. It was cool. It was fine. I think it okay way to start the show too. So nothing to write home about, but it was fine enough.
Richard.
Yeah, no, it was fine. It was fine. Like at least for a good. So it was a decent match. It looks like they Acclaimed are heading for a breakup here. They were teasing dissension for the whole match. I guess like, I missed it. But I guess like MVP did he give him like a card to potentially join the Hurt Syndicate or something? Or there was some dissension there. So obviously, yeah, Matt, and then the crowd were chanting "Fuck you, Max, I'll die." And then I remember Nigel was like, "Oh, they're chanting, thank you, Max." Or they're chanting this. Yeah. So yeah, he's clearly just being more heelish. Yeah, like, and obviously, I mean, I made a mention of this, but I think it was by design. Like he on his like rap, he did like a he made a gay jab at one of the teams, and like I was like, oh, that's weird when you got a team member who's openly gay, but I think that was by design. That was probably by design, considering he's probably going heel. So and he just like threw the mic at him instead of like passing it. So yeah, but the match was decent. Yeah, and Private Party win, but yeah, and so yeah, but I don't know. I thought it could have been better given the teams involved, but it was a fine opener.
Oh, I forgot we forgot to talk about the part where Max Caster and Anthony Bowens, one of them tried to pin their own partner to win the match, and Rick Knox counted the pin like a dumb fuck. Because even in storyline, he's a dumb fuck referee, as well as in real life.
To be fair, Road Dogg and Billy Gunn did the same thing in the late '90s for the WWF.
Yeah, and whoever was the referee for that is stupid also. You can't pin your own partner in the tag.
I think Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston tried that once too.
Yeah, and the referee should properly go, no, your partners, that's dumb. You can't do that. So, no. Can't both be legal at the same time. Even if you go by the rules of a tag match, the 2 partners can't be both legal. That's stupid. So whatever. Here's another weird one. MJF defeating Roderick Strong, fighting Adam Cole's battles. Can we skip ahead, JPO, to Dynamite and where they're still going with this, as we kind of thought they would, and what's easy becoming a shoo-in for worst feud of the year of MJF and Adam Cole, and
just
confusing
feud, because the match, like, again, this match is not necessarily a bad match, but just the juice behind it is just missing.
So we jump ahead to Kyle O'Reilly, right, JPO? Because isn't Kyle O'Reilly now also doing the exact same thing of like, hey, Adam Cole, step aside and let me take out MJF for you.
He's trying to insert himself in some way as well, and yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. So this is all backwards, too, because in my eyes, the way I see it, MJF, the valiant babyface, is overcoming these odds of this dastardly heel coward Adam Cole, sending all of his flunkies after him one by one, and MJF is valiantly fighting off all these guys one by one to get his way to that coward Adam Cole. I mean, that's the way this is playing out to me, and yet MJF is supposed to be the heel, and Adam Cole is supposed to be the babyface. It's completely backwards.
Yeah, I think with the Kyle O'Reilly thing sticking out, with the Roderick Strong thing, it's a little bit different because at least like Kyle O'Reilly, he's like wrestling for fighting for someone who is kayfabe injured, whereas Adam Cole, like just he set up he lost a bunch of matches, so he agreed to, and he's healthy enough to wrestle, but he just didn't, and so it is sort of like it is more. That is more of a I'm letting my friends, you're letting your friends fight your own battles sort of thing. But yeah, it is still, he still had a point where you're supposed to stick up for you're supposed to side with Adam Cole, but it's really hard to, where it's like that him and him and Colorado get at it, where it's like, oh, you were too late, and it's like, yeah, he was. That's the issue. It's like, he gets
and then Adam Cole, that coward, let MJF because he didn't want to get in the ring and face him, let his own buddy get his arm broken. So if this ends up being a thing where Adam Cole turns heel again, I would be actually okay with it, because boy, does that way it's playing out in storyline right now, and that's what it sure looks like. Is he's just letting his friends go down in flames and just hiding in the shadows, and just letting them go down and fight his own battles.
You had an opportunity to go down before they crushed his arm. I thought they were going to do that kind of that spot that they do where the heel postures that they're going to do something, then the music hits and then run down. So that's what they're going to do. No, what happened is the heels crushed the guy's arm, and then Adam Cole came down, and then he got upset because Kyle O'Reilly said you're too late. Well, where's the lie? Like Bobby Fish said.
There's no lie. No, he was too late. He should have been out there in the first place. So no, very weird. The storyline, it might be a shoe, and if we do worst storylines of the year, I think this 100% should be in contention. This is a bad storyline. We had Mercedes Moné retaining the TBS title against Chris Statlander, and what ended up being a really good match. They got the crowd very, very into everything. Probably Mercedes' best match to date, maybe on pay-per-view. Looked really good. A lot of good near falls. Richie, what do you think about this one? I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I think it was one of the better matches on pay-per-view. Thought it was pretty damn good. I thought there was one moment where Chris caught her in midair for her F5. That was pretty sweet spot. I was like, yeah, and I think they worked well together. And it wasn't like it also. I think the card placement was good because I think the last couple of times, her matches have been settled in the sort of the death spot between after a Will Ospreay match and before the main event or whatever. So the crowd's like, okay, we still got this match on. So it was actually a decent spot for the match. I thought they worked well. The only qualm I have, and we'll get to it. It's like they've already broken. We'll go. They're already broken up Camille and Mercedes only after 3 months of being together, because they run out of opponents for Mercedes, and they think they have. There's a whole lot of roster they could use, but anyway, they hotshot things too quickly, and and to the point where they don't. There's a Vince parallel there. I think Tony Khan gets bored and goes, we'll just end this thing. But I'm sure Camille and Mercedes, which I think they're going next, is going to be a good match. But that should have been way down the line, But this match in isolation is pretty good, and hopefully they have more for Chris, I guess, as a babyface. So I don't know. I don't know why she's a babyface, but it is what it is.
She's a babyface now. Yeah.
It is what it is. She had a good match, and she's really good. So yeah.
JPO, any thoughts on Mercedes and Miss Statlander?
No, this was actually a good match. Maybe even surpassed my expectations. Again, there is that weird semi-withdrawal of just like, storyline wise, as far as Chris has just earned kind of an unearned turn as well. We saw Wednesday, we're already done with Camille. So again, some iffy stuff storytelling wise, but match wise, these two actually clicked together. Might have been the best Mercedes has clicked in AEW actually.
Yeah, no, for sure. We had a rematch. Jay White once again defeating Hangman Adam Page, and then again to jump ahead to Dynamite, rightfully coming out and wondering why the hell Hangman is trying to get a world title shot or get some kind of world title shot when he came out and said, "No, fucker, I pinned you at the pay-per-view and I pinned you twice. I should be the one getting lined up for a title shot because I've been beating you and I've been winning. So rightfully so. But yeah, I mean, it was another good match. I think I was the only one who took this in the predictions, but I also, it kind of played out very similarly. Hangman getting a little frustrated, and then Jay getting the quick pin kind of after a quick sling blade once again. So, but yeah, another really good, pretty good hard hitting match here. JPO, any thoughts on this rematch of Jay and Hangman here, and the follow-up of Hangman trying to lobby for a title shot even though he's lost twice to this guy on pay-per-view, and it doesn't really make any sense why he would get one?
Yeah, it's my only mixed bag is we have seen the match before, and I'm sure if like you watch them back-to-back, I don't know if one's going to stand out more than the other, but as far as, now that it's been a few weeks, and it's a really worthy match. It's a good match. So, I don't hate it that much here. Again, you mentioned the storyline of him not won the title shot, though, but for why? And again, it's a good singles win for the Switchblade.
Mm-hmm. All right, Richie?
Yeah, I really like the match here. I think if I had to compare the two, I probably like their first match a bit better, but I thought this match was pretty, good on its own. And again, we're sort of story AEW, it's just story coming out of it, because I think what they're building towards is like from what I read, is like a fatal four-way between like Moxley, Christian Cage, Hangman, and Jay White, which is weird because there's only one babyface in the match, which is Jay White. So that's like if you did WGM mode, you get penalized for not having enough babyfaces on in that match. I'm sure that would still be good. But yeah, but it was a good match, and I don't know, that was actually, in hindsight, probably a smart move to go with Jay White given the storyline. But yeah, you're the only one that picked him, so I was a bit, frustrated at myself for not picking him. But it was still a really good match, and I hope Jay White at some point down the line gets his due and actually has even if it's a small run. I wouldn't mind having him, getting a run at the title at some point, because I think he's really good.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if Jay gets inserted into the title picture at some point. I probably should, given his last couple wins. And then, we had a highly anticipated match, Will Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher. And Kyle Fletcher beating Will Ospreay clean in the middle of the ring. Not really any big interference from Don Callis. No real big shenanigans. They just had a hard-hitting match. They beat the hell out of each other, hit some big moves, including a pretty dangerous-looking tombstone off the apron onto the steel steps. That looked really nasty. Yeah, that looked really, really nasty and gross. But Kyle Fletcher kind of beating the hell out of Will Ospreay and taking the fight out of him and just beating him clean and kind of being the better man. They kind of played a storyline where Will tried to throw everything he could at the end, but it just he had kind of run out of gas, and he had one last hidden blade, but with nothing really behind him. And Kyle O'Reilly just kicking the hell out of him and hit him with a top rope brain buster, and that was it. 1, 2, 3. So Kyle Fletcher maybe getting a push here, but getting a clean win over Ospreay, and now he's in the they were both also in the Continental Classic. So we'll see, will they square off again? I don't know. Will Kyle Fletcher go all the way? Yeah, no, I mean, they could definitely square off again, and we'll see what happens. But Richie, any what thoughts on Kyle Fletcher and Ospreay here?
Surprising. I know it's surprising people, but this is a really good match, and probably the best match on the show. I know that's shocking, but like this match.
5 1/4 from Meltzer.
Yeah, 5 and 5 1/4. Yeah, I don't know where the quarter comes from. I don't know how he works out his rating. I don't understand. But anyway, but yeah, that tombstone was gnarly. That could have. There's a lot of room for error there, but they put it off. There was when they had a chopping sesh. There was one where like Will Ospreay chopped him, and Kyle Fletcher. I throughout the stream I kept calling him Kyle O'Reilly. Kyle Fletcher, like paused there for a minute. He was like catching his breath, and then he quickly realized why, because he was bleeding. I'm like, holy shit! It was like the reminiscent of the Damian Priest Gunther match. I was like, yeah, but this was a great start making sort of performance here, but for Kyle Fletcher, and it was very surprising. None of us had this, and it'd be interesting to see what they do with like Mark Davis as well, because he's hanging around, but I don't know what they actually how he fits into everything. So, this was great. So, yeah.
Yeah. JPO, any thoughts on Kyle Fletcher and beating Will Ospreay clean, and where does this put him in the future?
Yeah, no, this was a surprise, not a bad surprise here, because I'm huge on Fletcher as well here. I know we're all predicting, Ospreay will be world champion in X amount of, weeks or months. So yeah, I think you can chalk it up to a good loss, just put over the other young, hot up and comer. So overall, yeah, really good match here. He can wrestle.
Both these gentlemen are very good wrestlers. Man, that Will Ospreay, he's going to have something in the future. I think that guy's got a bright future ahead of him. But we had the champagne segment where Tony Storm didn't return. All right, anyways, moving on. That was disappointment.
and two lesbians fought. There you go.
Yeah, two lesbians broke bottles over their heads and ran off.
They're Ali Polly or bi. Come on.
And two not straight people fought and went through a table.
Yeah. Anyways.
No, it was exactly what I said. I said either A, Tony Storms, or B, Mariah's even more heel. That's exactly what happened. All right, cool. Whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we had Daniel Garcia beating Jack Perry for the TNT Championship, as I think most of them had in our predictions. We kind of wanted to see Garcia, then pull the trigger on him, and it was kind of now or never if you're going to do that. And I think the TNT title was kind of perfect for him. Really beating the hell out of Perry here and getting a clean submission right in the middle of the ring, making Perry tap out. Interesting match. Not a lot of crowd heat for this one. Again, it's the crowd was weird the whole show. I mean, they were very hit or miss, as we'll talk about in these next two matches. Really, they were kind of just hanging around. But yeah, JPO, any thoughts on Daniel Garcia finally getting the big win here and getting some gold around his waist?
Yeah, now this was I don't want to say overdue, but like if it didn't happen, that night, when were you gonna do it? You know what I mean? Like you got to shit while the iron's hot. That's not a saying. I just made it up though. Shit while the iron's hot, folks. Do it. So yeah, Garcia,
that sounds painful.
I'm down for it. Yeah, don't do that. And also, if you're wondering, Jacob, Moose or Laredo Kid?
Moose.
Richie?
Moose.
Pez.
Moose.
Moose retain his title. Moose is currently Moose is your new big guy X Division champ, by the way.
Yeah, he beat Mike Bailey because Mike Bailey's leaving.
Richie, any thoughts on Daniel Garcia?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, much. I think we're just waiting for it when to happen. Yeah, much sort of deserved. If they didn't pull the trigger here, then would have, wouldn't have meant much if they did it down the line. I mean, similar parallel. Like if Joe Henry eventually does win the TNA World title, it probably won't mean as much because they keep teasing it, and I think the might apart. So, but like, yeah, I thought it was good. Yeah, like the lack of crowd heat hurt, but I don't know if it's just because they're coming off the Ospreay match. But yeah, I think like he got a like Daniel Garcia got a good pop coming out, but then they were just kind of like crowd was just sitting on that on the hands the whole match. So I don't know, but it was a good match nonetheless. And yeah, it was like we're talking about people winning with the sharpshooter and funny, and then he wins with the sharpshooter, or what he calls a Dragon Slayer, which is interesting because he just came up with that name because of his feud with Bryan Danielson, and then so it's, but I guess it's still a cool name for him. But yeah, no, there was a decent match here that I think could have been better if aided by more crowd heat.
Well, speaking of a match that didn't have much crowd heat for whatever reason, Takeshita defeated Ricochet for the international title. Again, clean in the middle of the ring after a kind of a top rope Falcon Arrow. I mean, I thought this was like pretty solid. These guys are working really hard, but boy, did the crowd just like not care for whatever reason, after, seeing that great three-way, the previous show with Takeshita winning the title. And I'm a big fan of that guy, Ricochet, I mean, I think he's been pretty solid so far, but the crowd just did not give a shit about this match for whatever reason. I don't know if they were just saving their energy, for the final two. I don't know what was going on, but they were just not into this. But I thought it was a solid match for what it was. But Richie, any thoughts on this one? It's a weird match.
High expectations. I thought it was really good. I just thought it didn't get to that next level. I thought it could have gone. I thought it been really good. It didn't have been good to me, but it was still good. But these two, not breaking news. These two are great. I think the crowd, like a crowd did hurt the fans as well. I feel like crowds are very spoiled these days, and it's like, well, you get all this bang of card, and you're like, man. But I don't know. Some crowds preserve their energy more than others, I guess. Sometimes I get annoyed at the crowd, and this is probably one of them. I'm like, man, you're witnessing two really, really good athletes. Come on, give them something. This was it was a good match that I think could have gotten to a next level, and it didn't get there for me. But it was I don't think the finish was ever in doubt. So Takeshita winning, and hopefully has a decent more lengthy title reign coming up. So yeah.
JPO, any thoughts on Takeshita and Ricochet and this international match here?
I thought I was muted. I wasn't. No, this is this is another good one here. Lots of stuff. This last half was pretty decently built up matches here. They gave these two was this the longest match? I don't know what Fletcher was. But no, another close to a couple minutes shy of it. So happy to see Takeshita get a good 1-on-1 victory against a new guy, Rick, last name O'Shea.
No, 19 was the magical number tonight, JPO. 4 matches with 19 and change.
Tonight.
I know,
what was it? Me and Corey kind of thought they could have shaved a couple of those, maybe a little bit if you wanted to.
Yeah, probably. But one that did go a little bit shorter. Bobby Lashley defeating Swerve Strickland, in the middle of the ring with the Hurt Lock. I mean, this one was pretty highly anticipated. I thought it ended up being a pretty good match. Again, Bobby Lashley, we've talked about how the guy just doesn't age. He still moves the same. He's still enormous. He still looks the same. I mean, he worked with Swerve here. They did some interesting stuff. Swerve gave him a DDT on the apron, and he took a kind of a nasty fall to the floor. They did the typical, Lashley spearing him through the barricade stuff. They did the pretty cool Swerve did the double stomp through the announcer's table. That was a great little spot that kind of woke the crowd up a little bit. That was fun. Swerve, putting up the fight, but Lashley looking pretty dominant near the end, hitting a couple of big moves, and then just making him pass out with the Hurt Lock. Swerve not giving up, just passing out in that Hurt Lock, and then afterwards they put Nana on the Hurt Lock as well, just for good measure. JPO, any thoughts on Lashley's big pay-per-view debut here and him getting a clean win over Swerve?
No, a clean win and a decisive win of that too. While this was still a 13-minute match, this was still very much I'd say 70-30, Bobby, to just establish him. He is our almighty. And I thought he looked good here too. Like I said, a very glorified semi-squash, but that's because Swerve won't die. That's because, Lashley's looking to impress. So I liked it. I didn't mind it.
Yeah, Richie.
Yeah, I liked it. It did its job of putting over the Almighty as a dominant force. I think he should. Unfortunately, it was one of those things where I had to get out of the room for a minute, and I missed the double stomp, probably the biggest spot in the match. I had to go back and watch it. But it's tough to say. Fucking dog. And and yeah, but yeah, no, it was it was a decent match. I'm guessing that Swerve might be forced to like maybe assemble a team of his own to go against the Hurt Syndicate. And I wouldn't mind seeing like AR Fox or something like be brought back to the fold. It's the history there. So I mean, maybe there's something like that happens. So, but yeah, no, this is decent. It achieved what it was, it set out to do.
Yeah. And then your main event of the evening, Jon Moxley retaining the AEW World Championship via a whole lot of shenanigans, because we saw Pac and Claudio obviously getting involved here. We saw Marina Shafir getting involved here. We had some of the conglomeration coming out to do a little bit of a cutoff, trying to get involved. And then, boy, that Wheeler Yuta, JPO. Don't trust that damn Wheeler Yuta running in near the end, hitting that psycho knee behind the referee's back, laying out Orange Cassidy, and then Moxley hitting the Death Rider to retain the title. And then a whole lot of weird stuff happening, fever dream weird stuff happening after the match, because afterwards Christian comes out thinking, or it's like, Hangman came out first. Hangman came out first, laid out Moxley with a briefcase. Then Christian comes out looking like he's going he hits the unprettier on Moxley, looking like he's going to cash in, which makes Christian almost an instant babyface, and then doesn't do it. They bail Moxley out. They run for the hills. There's a weird kind of awkward encounter between, Hangman and Christian there. They run to the back, and then as they're getting in their big lifted pickup truck, Darby Allin comes in with a car and rams into the truck, and then stumbles out of the car, bloody as hell. Apparently, he actually drove the damn car, which is like, what are you doing, Darby? Like, he's still trying.
Yeah, the last shot is him screaming and bloodied.
Yeah, screaming and bloody. He's jumping all over the place. But again, I think we even talked about this on the stream. Why is anybody running from Darby? Claudio by himself beat the shit out of Darby on Dynamite, and now it's a 5-on-1 or 4-on-1, whatever situation. Why are you scared of this guy? And he was just in a car accident. Why are you running from him? Just beat the hell out of him right there. But yeah, a weird fever dream move finish. But JPO, I mean, your thoughts on the match and all the shenanigans that ensued afterwards, and all the zaniness and whatever setups they're setting up for the future with all this stuff.
Shenanigans. No, I mean, this is a fun one as well. I would have maybe gapped Lashley and Orange a little earlier, because this, to me, gave me similar-ish vibes. It's a good amount of, Orange just getting the shit kicked out of him and making comebacks and hope spots, and then being, kind of shoveled down again. So I would have separated these two, maybe had some more fast-paced in the middle of them. But overall, I enjoyed it here. The Orange put on a good performance here. We've established even more about Moxley. A little bit of a overbooked crazy finale with everybody and car crashes. Darby's willing to murder them evidently. So, all right, it was fun.
Yeah. Richie?
Yeah, I thought the match before the finish was pretty good. These two worked well together, but yeah, the finish was overbooked as shit. I think what you left out was like, Christian was about to pin him, but then Jay White comes out, and Jay White gets involved, and then that sets that up. And there's like all shenanigans, and then the car tries to run over, and then I'm like, I yell, "Oh no, it's Rikishi! Rikishi's gonna run over!" And it's Rikishi going to run over the Death Riders. But no, it's Darby, looking bloody. What, did he legit get into a car accident before that? That's weird. That is,
all I heard was that all I read was that he was legitimately driving the car. I don't know if they, at least secured him in there, maybe, and tried to protect it a little bit, running into a truck, because he had a significantly smaller car than that truck. That's what I was worried about.
Yeah. So that's crazy. So like you could have, I understand, like, you could have had, like, obviously maybe, like I would have left it maybe at like the Jay White, the Jay White, like, costing Christian the opportunity, and then just like go to the back. I probably would have saved all this other carnage maybe for like it would have been a good cliffhanger for a Dynamite thing. I don't know. I think that was just a bit overbooked, to say the least. So, but the actual match itself was good.
Yeah. Any overall thoughts, JPO? Any overall thoughts or a score? Anything about Full Gear? Would you recommend a replay?
Yeah. If you're an AEW fan and you haven't seen Dynamite, yeah, I don't think you're going to have a bad time. I think you're going to see some good matches. Is this the pay-per-view to go out of your way for? Is it the pay-per-view totally worth $40? I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I thought it was good, but there's not, I don't know if there's even like a super match of the year. Yeah, Osprey had a really good one, but you could probably find that on other pay-per-views as well, with maybe slightly better storytelling. So still good. If you're an AEW fan, if you're a completist, if you're just looking for a good show, yeah, go see it. I don't want to go too low score-wise. I don't want to go too high either. Let's go for the joke. 6.9.
Nice.
Yeah, Richie.
Yeah, I not too far off here. I think it's a typical like what we expect with AEW. Like the matches are all like offensive and pretty good. I think sort of the highlights were in like matches obviously with Will Ospreay, Kyle O'Reilly, and maybe Mercedes, and Ricochet and Takeshita and the Mercedes and Statlander. They all had good matches here, but like in the case of like did I say Kyle O'Reilly again? Anyway, Kyle Fletcher. In case of Kyle Fletcher and and Will Ospreay, I do expect them to probably get matched up. Purposely get probably matched up for the next show, probably World's End, and probably have a bit bigger and do bigger things. And yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think and then some of the booking storyline wise sort of put a damper on some matches. I'll go 1 point higher and go 7.
Well, that wasn't a point. That's a 0.1 higher.
Point 1. You know, I know what I mean.
1 point higher would be 7.9. Semantics, semantics and all. Well, technically, 1 point higher would be 7. No, I mean, I'm around that kind of 7 territory, maybe like a 6.75, because it was just weird. Again, the crowd was weird tonight. They were into certain things, they were not into certain things. They were into like half the card and then not in and just completely dead for another half of it. But yeah, I mean, a lot of the matches were totally fine in the ring. A few of them were like really good Dynamite matches. Fletcher and Ospreay's worth checking out. Lashley and Swerve was good. It's like MJF was Roderick Strong was good in the ring, but again had weird heat because I think the crowd doesn't know who they're supposed to be cheering for, or just the feud has been odd. So yeah, a lot of just weird bookings on there. I hope World's End can bounce back a little bit with their card, and we'll see what they've got in store. But yeah, I mean, overall, not a bad show. It was a decent watch for what it was, Jacob. So up to you if you want to yank my login and watch the replay. I would at least watch Ospreay and Fletcher if you did that.
Yeah, that match sounds worth checking out. That the ending sounds crazy.
The ending was bonkers because it was like 5 different storylines running at once, and it was weird. And we were all like watching the stream live, just being like, "Wait, what? There's Christian. Wait, there's Hangman. Wait, there's Jay White. Wait, there's Clown Collaboration. Wait a minute, holy, Darby Allin's driving a car. Dad, what? What the hell's going on?"
I forgot Christian had that contract.
He still does, yeah. And actually, he when he came out, the crowd like came pretty unglued, like, and he hit the unprettier thing, like, and on Moxley, and we were like, "Oh wait, what?" Like, this would be a hell of a swerve, for the end of the show if Christian was the hero of AEW to take down Moxley, a Christian of all people, out of nowhere.
I'm your daddy now.
What do we know about John Moxley's real dad? Is he still with us, or I know it makes me wonder.
Speaking of which, it was weird. Like I like MJF's insults, but it was sort of weird. Like he made an insult to like Roderick Strong's like mom, and like that there is incident with his father or stuff. We had to look up. Like it's a decent dig if you know the thing, but like it's a very who would get that? You know what I mean? It's a very deep cut. Like I don't know. I just feel like I feel like it's like, oh, if only I knew what the hell that was, what you meant.
Yeah, so that was Full Gear, and now AEW moves on to World's End is their next.
It's in JPO's neck of the woods. It's in Orlando. It's in Florida.
Orlando,
excited.
Florida PPV. Yeah,
Yeah.
this one might be a skip just because it's right around the holidays, and I've already been spending money Black Friday for other people than me. So, AEW pay-per-view is definitely a bucket list thing. I've done Dynamites and Rampages, so
highly recommend.
Yeah, you got one up on me. I may have 400 on you, but you have that one little statistic on you.
Hey, Sting's final pay-per-view, that whole pay-per-view, highly recommend. A good show earlier this year.
Next time Sting retires, I'll be there.
I guess speaking of which, it probably goes into the news that the AEW show in Australia, they've had to downgrade the venue because they realized they were too ambitious with the stadium. So it's now at the Brisbane Entertainment Centre, which holds like 10 to 15,000. I'm like, yeah, you probably should have gone there to begin with. But I get,
just like a regular arena, not like a stadium, soccer stadium or something. Yeah.
No, I get the ambition and the swing, but yeah, you know.
Yeah. Well, and let you know, the venue they're going for Asheville, in my neck of the woods, like literally right up the road, and this is the first time they're actually going to Asheville, not Greenville or Columbia, some of the surrounding areas. To me, they're working the Harris Cherokee Center, and on the Ticketmaster thing, I think it holds about 2,000 people, as opposed to the Greenville Bonse Coors Arena, which holds about 10,000 people, which is the last time they ran a collision there and only drew about 3,000 people. So they're looking to just maybe pack out a much smaller venue, which again is not a bad, it's a TV show, and if you see that you're consistently drawing a certain amount, like run those smaller arenas, like run those smaller, entertainment centers and venues, and like pack those things out and make it look a little cooler. I mean, it's like NXT, what runs that same place, every week, but it's like packed out and it still looks kind of cool, on TV. TNA's been running pay-per-views that hold JPO, like they've been running places that hold 3,000 or 4,000 people, but like packing them out, for the pay-per-views. I mean, it looks good on,
and they look good.
Pack out these little places. Yeah, they look good. They can still look good, have a great crowd, have a loud crowd. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, pack a place out, make it look good.
And their pay-per-view still draw numbers. Their pay-per-view still draw, and like it's not like they're empty. They're still draw numbers.
Well, and I think the one in Orlando, I think it's a place they've run before. They ran when CM Punk did his match with the dog collar match with MJ. They ran at the UCF arena down there, the Central Florida College Arena, which is, that place holds about 7,000 or 8,000 people. They'll pack it out, so it's probably a smart idea. They've run there before.
Yeah, and that's where World's End will be, and that's where we will see the finals of the Continental Classic, which has just kicked off. They announced the participants on Sunday, had the first matches on Dynamite, and they'll have some more on Collision tomorrow. So the Blue League and the Gold League, Kazuchika Okada being the Continental Champion already, he was an automatic entrant, but joining him in the Blue League, we have Shelton Benjamin, Kyle Fletcher, Daniel Garcia, Mark Briscoe, and the Beast Mortos. And then in the Gold League, we have Claudio Castagnoli, Brody King, Will Ospreay, Darby Allin, Juice Robinson, and Ricochet. Can't wait to see you, Ospreay and Ricochet, run it back. But yeah, on Dynamite, we saw 3 matches. Shelton Benjamin, JPO, you've seen Dynamite, right? I'm not spoiling anything for you.
Yeah, no, we're good. I'm caught up.
Okay, good. I don't want to be that guy.
Shelton Benjamin has been looking great lately. He looks awesome.
His match with Mark
Briscoe is throwing Mark Briscoe too.
Yeah.
Or Mark Briscoe probably helped. Yeah. But yeah, Shelton Benjamin defeating Mark Briscoe to gain 3 points, and then Claudio defeating Ricochet, and Brody King defeating Darby Allin. And then on Collision, we'll see Will Ospreay versus Juice Robinson, Kyle Fletcher versus the Beast Mortos, and Kazuchika Okada versus Daniel Garcia. I think all 3 of those matches should be fantastic. And then, already booked for Dynamite next week is Claudio versus Brody King. That should be a great match as well.
And are they actually setting it up to have the actual final matches at the World's End pay-per-view? Is that what they're setting it up as?
Yeah, so the Blue League winner versus the Gold League winner. And my thing is, if Okada's not one of those, if Okada doesn't win the Blue League, does he just vacate the championship?
I guess.
Or does the winner get a championship match? I'm not sure if that's been said or not.
And if Okada wins the whole thing, does he just not defend the title?
Right. It's like is this for the belt?
I
is
think
this for a chance at the belt?
I could very much be wrong. So I believe what it is Okada will be the champ until the finals. And then they're gonna crown either a new champ or he retains it.
Okay. And that makes the most sense. I mean, yeah, but the way it works, pinfall victory is 3 points. A draw is 1. And is there anything for a submission?
It should be the same as a pinfall. A clean submission should be the same as a pinfall, in theory, right?
Yeah. Just the match winners, 3 for a win, 1 a draw for a 1. Outside interference is a 1-point deduction. That's a nice. I think that's a nice little.
Why can't they just ban outside interference all the time?
No, yeah, right. Like
they can do it for this tournament, but
right.
But that John Moxley, I guess he just runs AEW, so we can't just bar everybody from ringside, for that one.
Yeah, Claudio's going to get a lot of point deductions, I feel.
But
the way they book Claudio lately, he should be the destroyer of worlds and win this whole damn tournament. The way he's been booked lately, holy hell, is he beating the hell out of everybody?
I wouldn't be surprised. I think we'll see how he does against Brody King next week. But that'll
be a hell of a match. Those guys will beat the shit out of each other.
I said in the chat, I think Brody King's he's my dark horse to win. I would love him to win the whole thing, but I don't know. I'm not 100%. I acknowledge that he's like not the favorite or anything. I know. Who did you say will probably be have the least? I know you said Beast Mortos would have like the
Beast
least.
Mortos.
The Beast Mortos would have the least score, but I would put up there. I don't know if Juice Robinson's going to get much points. I love Juice, but not sure.
Yeah, I think those are the two for their respective leagues that they're in. Matches should still be great. Watch us be wrong, and the finals is going to be Beast Mortos and Juice Robinson, and we're all going to eat our words. But looking, I'm curious. Looking at the roster, the leagues that we have, any matches that you guys are potentially looking forward to? Any predictions on what you think the finals could be?
Yeah. Well, I mean, like the Brody King, Claudio match is obviously going to be good. Is Brody and like Beast Mortos, are they in a different bracket or in the same bracket?
They're in different brackets, yeah.
Oh, that match be great. But if that ever came to pass, but yeah, I mean, I'm interested to see how far Shelton Benjamin goes. It'd be cool if he like got quite far, because he's really looking amazing. I could see him being a mid-card champion at some point too. Just but mostly he's pretty cool. Yeah, I think most of the people who are involved are expected to be involved, and it's interesting that interesting Jay White's not involved. That makes me think that he's involved in the title picture, but yeah. But yeah.
Yeah. JPO, any matches you're looking forward to? Any thoughts on what the finals could potentially be?
I know we tried to said in the chat, or somebody did. What if we could just end up back to Fletcher and Ospreay? That might be kind of cool if you want to do long-term storytelling here. I'm trying to think if there's anyone like a Eddie Kingston that could lose and always make a comeback. Otherwise, no. I mean, I'm just they just announced the names because I have to see what they kind of do over these next few months. We're guaranteed this is some good wrestling.
Right. Pez, you got anything you're looking forward to? Any thoughts on what the finals could be?
I mean, if they would upload matches to YouTube, I would gladly watch them. Problem is they don't do that. Raw will at least occasionally upload full matches to their YouTube. But on a related note to that, Jacob, I did read that the Dynamite I'm going to on January 1st in Nashville, the Fight for the Fallen, will be the first one they will stream simultaneously on Max.
That's right. Yeah.
So that will be the first one where you can be able to watch it on Max live. So that would be pretty cool.
Did you guys see that during the Ricochet Claudio match, the crowd were entertaining themselves to go, "These guys are bald."
Oh, yeah, because they were bald. The referee was bald.
Yeah, baldy shit, baldy shit. It's like, yeah.
Sounds like that crowd needed to be at the pay-per-view.
Yeah. Hey, but that's good news for me, though. Maybe I can finally start watching Dynamite, even if it's just live on Wednesday nights. As long as I don't have any shows, I'll start watching it live on Max. That'd be awesome because I don't really get to right now. And if that's the case, that'd be pretty cool because, regardless of some of their wonky storylines and booking, they do have good wrestling, on those shows and a lot of matches I'd like to see every week. It'd be interesting to see if they do the same for Collision as well. I wonder about that. I haven't heard anything about that specifically, but I would imagine it'd be a similar situation. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. So that's the Continental Classic again. The finals will take place at World's End December 28th in Orlando. You guys have anything newsworthy that you want to talk about? Pez, you got anything?
I mean, the only thing I saw was this is unfortunate news for the Lucha Bros. Apparently, Penta's contract is up sometime in the next week or two. It'll expire. But Rey Fénix's contract is still going well into 2025. So he's hung up.
And there's no plans to use him.
There's no plans to use him. So he's just in contract jail right now. So they won't release him from his contract. He's just going to be sitting there. And so, yeah, I don't know. That seems like a shitty situation for everybody because obviously you want to see those guys as a tag team. You don't want to just have them, one of those guys go and not the other one. So unfortunately, we may not see the Lucha Bros in WWE until maybe at the earliest, late next year or something. So it may be a while before you see those guys in there, which sucks because they're not getting any younger.
This seems to go hand in hand with the Ricky Starks story of, Starks made his GCW debut last week, had a nice promo, was scheduled for future events to wrestle, and evidently he's been pulled from those. Even though, again, he has now stated in Chris Van Vliet interview, I'm cleared. I've never been hurt. I've been ready this whole time. I'm not getting the call to come to work. So, it sucks that with Tony, who seemed like this, I'm still is probably a nice guy, who didn't do stuff like this, now at the point where he is, holding people back from other opportunities, which kind of sucks.
Apparently, that GCW thing might also stem from something Effie said in an interview where he was talking about they just talked about Tony Khan's dad about GCW doesn't have the the luxury of having playing with their father's money or something and can't operate at a loss or something. It was I thought it was kind of harmless, but yeah. I thought that apparently it ruffled the feathers of some people, and then I don't know because Ricky Starks was meant to take on Matt Cardona in a GCW show coming up, but it's obviously not happening anymore.
Yeah, because Ricky's a good talent. He's a good wrestler.
Love Ricky.
See him back
I
on
love
TV.
everyone we just mentioned. There's Ricky. There's Effie. like everyone we just mentioned.
Yeah. JPO, you got anything newsworthy that you wanted to bring in?
You guys want me to unbox my new pro wrestling crate?
Hey, let's see what's in it. Go ahead. Live unboxing. Let's go.
I have no idea either. I've only just taken the tape off. Oh, look at my address.
Don't dox JPO on live on the stream.
So we'll double check, make sure I don't forget anything later. We'll start and end with the t-shirt. That's what I like to do. It looks like a holiday season's beatings with a Grinch that's about to fight. I don't know what's going on right now.
Yeah, JPO, I'm gonna put you on full screen for the unboxing. All right, is that okay?
Yeah.
All right, there you
All
go.
right, hey everybody. Yeah, this is the pro wrestling crate you can get for like $35-$45 depending on your t-shirt size. Is that good? I can't see.
Yeah.
So a little Grinch.
Yeah, it's good.
Oh, just
so
beating the shit
Grinch
out of Santa.
putting the smackdown on Santa. Yeah. In a singlet,
He's
he's in a
got,
wrestling singlet.
A single half crab.
He's got the Boston crab.
Got a half crab.
Boston crab on him.
Yeah. Yeah, that's that. That's really it. That's kind of cute. All right, we'll save the T-shirt. Don't know what this is. Just an ad. Oh yeah, this is some sort of ad. Let's see here. Ooh, this is soft. Ooh, who am I looking at? Oh, a little MJF plushie, everybody. I can go to bed with MJF tonight. He's my scumbag. Your scumbag. Oh, that's what it is. The Wolf of Wrestling. So yeah, that's a new kind of toy that they have in there, because they also always include not one but two brawlers. Danhausen heavy.
Danhausen. Mm-hmm.
Is that like Back to the Future?
Marty McFly.
Marty McFlyhausen. Mm-hmm.
That's fun. Makes me want to get Frozen Kate again, but I can't afford it.
And then Big Van Vader with his helmet halfway like ripped, but it's also literally
Darth
Vader.
Van Vader.
That's sick.
I don't know if that's totally a legal toy, but I don't know if Lucas gave him his permission.
Did you ever pull a chase out of those?
I have once or twice in like the years I've done it. Neither one of these are the chases. Yeah. Oh, this is like a big mix this month, I guess, because now it's Mickey Mouse doing a fireball.
Okay.
Oh, I get it. It's Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, like he's the Steamboat. Oh, get it, Steamboat, really? Everything makes sense.
Okay. I get, because he's public domain now. They can do whatever they want.
Mm-hmm.
A Vampiro comic book. That's Vampiro.
Sick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, these are really cool. These are always well done.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This one's just been a whole movie theme, great, because Bonesaw's ready.
Oh, of course. Bonesaw's ready. I got you for 3 minutes. 3 minutes of playtime.
I'm gonna fuck that up. Put that back. I'll put that back nicely later. Autograph time.
Oh boy, mystery autograph.
He's got till 5. King Kong Bundy.
That's actually probably worth a bit, actually. But
is that your first King Kong Bundy?
I don't think I have a Bundy, so yeah, that actually might be the first in line. And then the T-shirt, lastly, was blue.
The T-shirt is blue. Joe Hendry.
I believe in Joe Hendry. This nice lettering. Nice lettering. That's a timely photo. And you know what? I like blue, so yeah.
We believe
clap, clap, clap. I like that too.
All right, nice.
Clap, clap.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that is your pro wrestling trip.
Nice.
I read that King Kong Bundy sign stuff just probably a couple of weeks before he passed away, so that's probably a good get.
Greetings, Hendry, Marty McFly, Vader, Steamboat Willie, King Kong, Vampiro, MJF Wolf, Bonesaw poster. Yeah. Yep. So pro wrestling crate. About $35, $45 depending on your shirt size. You get all those goodies. It's bi-monthly now. That's why they do to the 2 brawlers.
Okay. Nice.
Any other news?
I've got my Richie ID update, seeing if you know any of these people. I only got 2. Well, one we talked about the sort of during our stream, which is Kylie Ray. We knew that. I talked about that. The other one, do you know a guy named Jordan Oasis?
I just vaguely familiar with the name.
Okay. And the other one, where's it gotten? Hang on. Give me.
I'm always a fan of anything Jordan's.
Yeah, I figured.
There's a guy named Ricky Smokes. Ricky Smokes.
Yeah, Ricky Smokes.
Again, that sounds like a name I've seen, but no.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Outside of just vaguely have seen the name. Listen.
And then.
I saw his video. I actually might not have known of him. I saw his video. It was actually what I saw. Like him actually getting into the ring.
And then there's
Brett Lauderdale.
Oh yeah, here we go. Do you know Freedom Ramsey?
That doesn't sound familiar.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah. I guess these are just sort of like names until we kind of see them action. But yeah, I'm curious to know if they. Wonder if they would like do like a sort of like off here like mini draft thing. Like, hey, you won one of these. These are the people going to make it to NXT. It's like the level below NXT. It's like, hey, we're watching you. Now you get to go to NXT. Now you're probably signed. I don't know. I mean, I'm interested to see.
No, it's gonna be interesting to see who's gonna be the first to get like actually to the next level and how long it's gonna take and what percentage of them makes it. You know what I mean? Because it seems like it's gonna be a per basis trial. Like I don't think they're gonna randomly take 6 of them at a time, or who knows. We'll see. That's all a new, fresh concept here. That's why, like, I almost like I don't want to knock it. It's still kind of cool. They're still being eyed by WWE, so that's still like next level cool. But at the same time, it's like, well, they're not quite signed yet, so like I don't know how excited you can be to a degree, anyway. But I mean, shout out to anyone that gets it here. Obviously, you're doing something right. Kylie Ray is a pretty surprising name just because she was technically signed to AEW at one point, and then had fallen out due to just anxiety, and then there's other rumors from maybe other things, but who knows? But she ended up never making it to television here. So, but it seemed like somebody that she's done some TNA stuff in the past. So,
and
she seems definitely ready.
Yeah, I think that she probably has the. I mean, just looking at the people on paper, she's probably got the best shot, but it just depends. It depends on things, but yeah, like. But she's one person that's got a name and who could probably just rent around and make an appearance at the Royal Rumble. And people are like, oh, I know. Yeah.
I don't know about that. Like, she's got a name to us, but she's not like a. I don't know. I don't know if they would jump her to the Rumble.
Yeah. I remember she got a lot of shit online back in the day because when Cody was running AEW, he called her the better Bailey, and then people incels online were like, it's just a dude's opinion. He's probably he's building up his company. Just fucking anyway. But yeah, I don't know. I hope she succeeds. She's good. So, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it plays out.
Yeah. See how many more get ID'd over the next
Still
few
waiting
days.
for mine. And it ain't now.
Well, I don't know if they're ID managers, but they're ID wrestlers.
What? Oh, okay.
So until the manager portion, don't hold your breath on that call.
That'd be funny.
Hey, Barber. Barber, who won? Steve Macklin or Josh Alexander?
I'm gonna go with Josh Alexander.
Hey, Richie.
I'll go Josh. I mean, hang on. Actually,
I'll go name, dude.
I'll go Steve Macklin.
And Liz.
Macklin.
Oh yeah, Macklin won the no disqualification match. Alexander's also on that list of like Mike Bailey people that might not be around much longer. So
yeah, he sort of indicated that like he's going somewhere soon and he can't do indies. So interesting.
Oh, I haven't paid attention to TNA lately. I should though. I know.
I'm watching the pay-per-view now. I mean, obviously, I'm not really getting totally my money's worth, but $5, and it gives you the impacts from every week. So, and the archives.
Nice.
And Explosion. Explosion's still a thing that came back a while ago.
Oh, wow. I did not know that. That sounds like a good deal.
No, I think it's perfect. Like I said, I don't mind $5. Maybe I'll rewatch some of this later a little more closely, but
yeah. So unless there's anything else newsworthy, we'll go ahead and
that's a good time to wrap it up because I got to send out a stream in about 12 to 15 minutes.
I give you guys a little break before you talk Happy Madison.
Mm-hmm.
But I won't plug that.
Jacob, you should come. Ever been on a tournament fights before?
What's this show called?
We'll talk about it later.
Oh, okay. Anyway, yeah, we'll jump into some quick plugs.
This will be it. Late breaking news: mystery opponent in the 6-man main event. Oh no, is it main event? Doesn't matter. 6-man tag with the Hardys and whatnot. Matt Riddle TNA debut, by the way, just happened.
Okay,
interesting.
Ew.
And with the the working relationship between TNA and WWE is Could that be something in the future?
Bro.
Yes and no. Don't forget too, like TNA still does their own thing. So like if WWE doesn't want him, doesn't really mean that like that necessarily is helping him in any way. Like maybe if they're around him more, if Sean is backstage, let's say, or something. But
right,
I would say that doesn't necessarily move the needle necessarily.
And that relationship has been as pronounced in the last couple of months. It's sort of
like Rosemary disappeared again. Like Jordan Grace was in that 10-woman tag like last show, but like that hasn't been on TV in the last couple of weeks. So I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully it's not done. I hope it's not done.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully it gets ramped back up come Rumble time. Because I would love a few surprises in the Rumbles. But again, that's still a couple months away. But anyways, we'll jump into some plugs. Give you guys a little break before you have to be on stream for another 3 hours. Richie, you got anything you want to plug?
Just that. I mean, and next week, me and Pez will be back for Wheel of Movies to talk about Happy Death Day. Yeah.
Good movie.
So that should be fun. I believe Jordan Anderson's joining us, and yeah, that should be fun. And then I'm sure I think I'm going to be on one of the 1997 shows. Again, I think the championship episode of Tournament Fires. Other than that, I'll get back into some trivia here soon once get the internet sorted out. It's hard to do trivia on your phone without I don't want to come across like cheating. So but yeah, but I'm around sharing my opinions on shit. There you go. And I'll be I'll call into long time, first time. I can't, on the occasion as well. I missed. Did you do one this week?
Wait till my plugs.
If you did one this week, I missed it because stuff. But I've watched some stuff. So yeah, tune into that. I'll show up for like a few minutes.
All right, Pez.
Not much. I will be talking some more wrestling on Monday night. I'll be back on Malcolm Lay's Spear from the Past on his personal channel, so I'll link that in the Movie Hero Network group. We'll be talking ECW Hardcore Heaven 1996. So that's what he spun. So, an interesting show. It's got a Sabu and Rob Van Dam. Chris Jericho was still around. This was right before he went to WCW. It's got some Too Cold Scorpio. Yeah, some good stuff on there. So I'm looking forward to checking out that. Apparently, it was one of the shows they were first trying to lobby to get on pay-per-view. Obviously, they wouldn't get on until barely legal, but they were rallying to get on pay-per-view around this time. So they had hyped this one up a little bit. Wheel of Movies, like Richie said, on the Movie Hero Network next Thursday. And other than that, I'll just be all over most of the Movie Hero Network. So follow me over there.
Sounds good. Yeah, I told Malcolm if it's anything past the 2000s, feel free to give me a.
he calls me for ECW or late era WCW. That's what he calls me for most of the time. And then certain people he calls for NXT or late era WWE or whatever. Yeah, it's certain time periods kind of appeals to certain people.
All right. JPO, you got anything you want to plug?
You probably usually over at my main channel, The Pure Sco. We do lots of movie trivia, movie shenanigans. No, we pretty much took the whole week off. I didn't do an ASAT this week. We didn't do long time first time, Thanksgiving and whatnot. So we'll be back in full swing. I think Picks and Lists will be on Sunday, and then I'll do normal ASAT sometime later this week. Long time first time Thursdays at 8 is our normal time. We'll review some older movies. Call-in show, anyone's invited. And other than that, got Pierce Wrestling channel too. Some new stuff will be coming to that channel pretty soon. Other stuff building up here locally in Florida. Those channels will be updated soon as well. And just looking forward to the next show we have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we will be back next Thursday, most likely at our normal time, 10 Eastern, to talk Survivor Series and the fallout from that and any news that happens between.
And then we'll have a lot of time before the Rumble to kind of work in our past prediction wins. So we'll have a lot of dead weeks where we'll be able to get caught up on everybody's, because I think Richie's got like 2 in the hole. I've got like 1 or 2 now. I think JPO's got 1 somewhere. We'll probably do another.
We all have at least one.
I think Jake's got 1.
Yeah, we might just all like rotate like weeks and just let everybody just pick something to do. We'll figure it out because we will have a World's End pay-per-view. We will have like Saturday night's main event. We can talk about it, after it happens, the following week.
That's the Cody Kevin show. Yeah.
Cody Kevin.
So I mean, it's not like a pay-per-view. We don't need to make like Yeah, we don't need to like do predictions for it or anything like that. But we can
talk about it first episode back
for sure. Yeah, we'll talk about it. I'm sure it'll be a big deal. And then but we'll have some dead spots. Yeah, because then the Rumble is until February 1st, so we got some time, almost all of January, kind of bang out a few of those and a little bit in December. Right. So yeah,
and just
I will say the Netflix deal might be. The Netflix deal might potentially hurt our ability to do retro reviews. I don't know how much of the retro stuff is going to carry over to Netflix, but hopefully some of it. Hopefully a lot of it. I'm not 100% sure if it's not clear if all of it's going.
It's not clear what the Peacock deal is or like what's following. Yeah, we don't know yet. We'll find out. Just to
tease one of the future episodes, ESPN recently put out a under 30. And I thought it would be fun for us to kind of come up with our own top 10 wrestlers under 30. So that's a future episode that you guys can be on the lookout for. We'll be doing that soon. But yeah, join us next week when we talk Survivor Series and the fallout from that. Follow these people in everything that they do. So if you're watching live, thank you. If you're watching on the replay, thank you, but later. So for JPO, for Richie, for Pez, I'm Jacob. This has been The Lonely Marks, and we will see you next time.
We're not live.